What if I told you the voice in your head? The one that replays conversations at night, the one that imagines outcomes before they happen, the one that asks, "What if I mess this up?" before you've even begun, is not there to sabotage you. It's there because at some point, trusting yourself became unsafe. And here's the part most people never realize. If you don't understand why your mind learned this behavior, you'll keep repeating the same mental loop, no matter how self-aware you are. By the end of this video, you'll see overthinking in a way that makes it lose its grip. But first, there's a dangerous myth about overthinking you need to unlearn. Because if you're an overthinker, this misunderstanding has been quietly controlling your life. Most people believe overthinking means thinking too much. That belief is wrong. Overthinking is not excessive thinking. It's excessive monitoring. Your brain isn't searching for answers. It's scanning for threats, not physical threats. Emotional ones, social rejection, future regret, moments where you might look foolish, fail, or disappoint someone. The overthinking mind asks questions like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if they misunderstand me? What if I make a decision I can't undo? And here's where the psychology gets interesting. Overthinkers often had a moment, or a pattern, where trusting themselves led to pain. Maybe you made a choice that backfired. Maybe you were criticized for being wrong. Maybe your emotions were ignored or minimized. Maybe your environment felt unpredictable. So your mind adapted. It learned this rule. If I analyze everything, I can prevent pain. That's not weakness, that's survival. Once the brain associates thinking with safety, it refuses to stop. And here's a quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever told yourself, I'll relax once I figure this out, only to realize there is no end to the figuring out? Exactly. Because overthinking is not about solutions. It's about control. Your brain believes that if it pauses, something bad will slip through the cracks. That's why silence feels uncomfortable. That's why rest feels restless. That's why calm can feel suspicious. But there's a deeper layer most people never talk about. Overthinkers are often highly perceptive. They notice emotional shifts. They read between the lines. They sense things others miss. That ability is powerful, but without emotional safety, it turns inward. Instead of scanning the room, you scan yourself. Instead of reading others, you analyze your own thoughts. And that's how the loop begins. Thoughts create fear. Fear creates more thoughts. But here's the cliffhanger. If overthinking is meant to protect you, why does it hurt so much? Overthinking comes with a cost. Not always obvious, not always dramatic, but constant. It steals presence. It delays action. It turns simple decisions into exhausting mental debates. You don't just choose, you rehearse choosing. You don't just rest, you analyze resting. And slowly, something changes. You begin to doubt your intuition. Because when thinking takes over, instinct fades. And when instinct fades, confidence follows. This is why overthinkers often appear calm and composed on the outside, but mentally exhausted on the inside. Their mind never clocks out. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Overthinking is not caused by a lack of confidence. It's caused by a lack of trust. Not trust in others. Trust in yourself. At some point, being wrong felt unsafe, so your brain decided to never let that happen again. But here's the paradox. The very thing meant to protect you is now limiting you. Let me interrupt you for a moment. When was the last time overthinking actually saved you, instead of just draining you? Exactly. Protection can quietly turn into a prison. Now here's the good news. You don't stop overthinking by thinking less. That only creates another loop. Overthinking softens when the mind feels safe enough to let go. Safe enough to trust that you can handle mistakes. Safe enough to adapt. Safe enough to survive discomfort. And this doesn't happen instantly. But awareness is the first crack in the wall. The moment you stop judging your overthinking, it loosens its grip. The moment you realize your mind isn't broken, it stops fighting itself. Here's the final cliffhanger, and this one matters. Most overthinkers aren't stuck because they think too much. They're stuck because they haven't realized they're already capable of moving forward without certainty. And once that realization lands, overthinking no longer controls you. It becomes a signal, not a command. So if this video felt uncomfortably accurate, that's not a coincidence. It means your mind has been protecting you for a long time. And maybe now, it's finally safe enough to rest.